Hello, my friends. FM26 is real. It comes out on November 4th, and the website for FM says you can get 10% off. But if you go to the description below, I've got an affiliate link that is 18% off currently. Other content creators have a bonus code for an extra 5% off. I'm waiting for Fanatical, which is who the affiliate program is through, to let me know whether or not I will get that as well. Either way, I will include the link and whether or not I have a code currently in the description. Hello, my friends. FM26 is real. It comes out November 4th. As always, they are doing pre-sales with advanced access, also known as the beta period. I have an affiliate link in the description below. The website says you can get 10% off. With my link currently, you can get 18% off. But I will update the description. I'm waiting to hear back from Fanatical. Lots of other content creators have an extra 5% off with a custom code. So I'm seeing if Fanatical will give that to me as well. It'll probably be Gray Hair Gaming, all one word, if they allow it. And either way, the link will be in the description. Thanks for your support. As part of the launch, they've put out a new blog post called Total Football, Total Control. FM26 has reimagined user interface. It has a video with it that is 3 minutes and 48 seconds long. I've already watched it just once, but it has a lot of, slick moving animations, but it actually makes it a little bit more difficult to see what's going on. Thankfully, in the blog post, they have put screenshots of what they're talking about, so let's go look at them individually. What I find odd is they start talking about the tiles and cards, which is a thing in the Unity engine switch with the player view, but a lot of this is about the inbox going away and the UI on your home screen looking different. So let's actually skip down and start there. So this is called the portal. At first glance, I thought, this looks a lot like the inbox because you've got all the messages on the left, way over there on that side of your screens. But it pops up as a separate box rather than sliding over and taking over this side of the screen. And it actually looks quite nice. One of the first things to point out is that they've moved the navigation bar to the top away from the side. So you're getting that horizontal screen real estate, which is really important if you consider where FM is going to be played, which is on desktop, laptop, Xbox. So it's moving things to the top like pretty much every other program on your computer or devices would have it. And more importantly, when you click on these items, there are submenus available right away. So unlike right now where you've got to click on tactics and then that loads the tactics screen and then you click on something else in tactics, you can go straight there if you depending on the options that are appearing up here at the top. And this is what it looks like when you click on match day. So it's somewhat similar. It's just, we'll have to see how this, now that I see it like this, I kind of wonder, is this a significant improvement or not? You kind of just need to play with it to see what you really think. And clearly it gives you a full view. You get the news here. They get the fixture schedule. I think some of this looks like some of the skins that were out for FM24 that you could find out there. But overall, it's an improvement for the stock version of the game. You've got the table here. The thing I just want to point out is there's a lot of Premier League push in FM26's marketing currently. I'm curious what they've done with La Liga, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, and all the others. Going back to the top with the player cards, it says that it's streamlined and that you can see more stuff. It doesn't look that streamlined. Maybe it's just that I was using Work the Space's skin. I mean, you've got the career stats here rather than up here. You've still got the current ability and potential ability. You've got the season stat, which was down to the bottom center. You've got the training progress discipline. So I think it's bigger. The attribute section is bigger in comparison to what you have right now. They're better utilizing that blank canvas, if you will, because a lot of the space, because you had the form table, at FM24 kind of here, and that was customizable. You could change stuff out, but this kind of puts the attributes front and center. The thing that I notice on this that is immediately concerning is they still have the 3x multiplier on the valuation of the player. So anywhere from 32 million to 97 million pounds, that seems absurd. And I'm curious, I thought I saw there was something on one of the forums about the match engine, not the graphics that show you what's happening, but the underlying engine of that lead to the graphics doing the graphics things is being kept since FM24. And there was a whole hubbub in the community. You're probably aware, but does that mean they've kept other things like the transfers and the AI transfers and that whole thing? That would be concerning, and it's one of the 26 things that I said FM needs to fix. You can watch that video later. Let's keep going. Next, they show us the calendar, which I actually think might seem like a minor thing, but I like that it does appear to be more intuitive. You can look at the general calendar, you can specifically look at the training calendar, you can just look at the fixtures, and it also has the go on holiday and arrange friendly all from this screen. Now, what it doesn't show you is I'd like to see the entire fixtures list. If you click on this, does it show it in the calendar view, or do we go back to the old view where it's a long list? yet to be determined. My view on all of this is Sports Interactive is trying to make Football Manager more approachable, which will annoy a very small, probably niche subset of the audience that likes, how difficult it is to get into. But they have to be worried about consistently growing the game, and they also have to be worried about putting this onto consoles rather than onto desktop computers like it was played for a generation. So the fact that this screen exists and it looks, in theory, like it's easier to navigate, I think is a plus. Going to the very end of the blog post, they talk about bookmarks, which sounds like a good idea, but I'm a tad concerned. Here's why. If we scroll this up so you can actually get it out from behind my head, you see here you've got 6 bookmarks selected. It actually says up here, I can't highlight the text, but you've got 24 bookmark options in total to choose from. So unlike, bookmarks in your browser where I'm going to bookmark whatever I want, they're giving you the ability to pick certain screens to then remember in this list, but they're not giving you the ability to customize that to say, always take me here. I want to have this particular player always in my bookmarks because I'm keeping really close tabs on them. That doesn't exist. It's pre-filtered options that they're going to give you. The other thing that stands out to me is that Tactics is its own bookmark here, as well as the first team. And when you slide over to the video, you can see Tactics lives under Match Day. It maybe is under Squad, but I haven't seen it in the video. And you go, wouldn't that be one of the main things we'd want to have an option for? Like right now on the left over your left over here sidebar, it's right. Tactics is an option. You click right in it, you go right into it. So now you've got an extra click, whether it's on Match Day Tactics or Bookmarks Tactics. I don't know if that's an improvement. It makes me wonder if the options they've moved to the bookmarks section would be stuff that players don't utilize as option. Like, for example, staff search. How often are you doing that? Use setup. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe it depends on the player. News site, competition stages, like those are things you wouldn't click on a lot. But at the same time, clearly you'd be using messages and looking at the first team squad and the tactics and the transfers a lot. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I just think not giving us the ability to specifically bookmark whatever we want seems like an interesting design choice. Another thing they talk about that I'm not sure how experienced players are going to feel about it, but again, with the lens of they're trying to make the game easier to play for those new players, I think is a massive upgrade. Pretty much any electronic device you use these days, or an app or whatever, there's going to be a search option. They talk about how the search historically was entities meaning specific nations, players, and clubs, and that was it. Versus how many times have you as a player gone, wait, I know the name of that screen, but I can't remember how to get to it. Is that here? And you're like clicking on the left sidebar to find out where it's at. Now you can just search for it. And it doesn't just give you, it'll show you in this example, training, stadiums, and also your messages. But it essentially says you can find relevant tiles, messages, news items, guides, any football related term or game area like training. So I think it's interesting that they're only showing you this. They're not showing you the game area. I'm assuming below this is the ability to click game area training and take you straight into the training function inside of FM26. And that's big. I have been playing FM for like 7 or 8 years now, and there's still times where I'm like, wait, what is that? If you could just type what you think it is and it takes you to that part of the game, that's a big benefit. Again, I'm not sure how experienced players are going to feel about this, but FMpedia, which is, I'd argue, workshop that name a little bit more, Sports Interactive, but whatever, it makes sense. It's like Wikipedia. That revamped search will also have guides. Some of this might actually be useful. Financial fair play and board confidence. Like, what does that mean? How does that impact me as a player? Again, the eye of this, I think, is more towards those new players who are like, I don't even know what financial fair play is. It's kind of funny. They should have used PSR, right, for profit and sustainability, because everything else in the game is about the Premier League right now that they're showing us, but I digress. But if you're a new player and you're like, I'm not sure how that works, it'll have a guide. It's essentially like, welcome, we have a help file, but it's within the game, which you could argue might be a little overdue. And it makes me wonder, do they have the South Korea under 22 substitution rules explainer? If not, it's needed. Again, this is what the view looks like when you click on Portal, so there is that drop-down box so you can choose some of those things within the portal. It's not all sunshine and roses, though. I do have a couple of things that I wonder are hints of the lack of changes coming into FM26. The first is we have a potential issue with Brajan Gruda. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but when you click on it, it very quickly in the video, I've had to go a couple times to pause this, pops this up. So this looks like your captain, Lewis Dunk, is coming to you, and letting you know that this guy doesn't seem like himself at the minute. It looks like the exact same wording that we get in FM24. However, there is a typo. It says, but I might, lowercase I. Come on, testing team. But you're getting the same kind of options that you were getting in your inbox. Discuss the issue with him, ask the agent to resolve, ask Son to resolve, like apparently Son plays for Brighton, or you can delegate it to somebody, and then this happens. So you decide to discuss it with him, and he says, I've been training well, please give me a chance to prove myself, and he's downcast. So this is a slightly different, but essentially same thing that you would get in FM24. And then it scrolls down to show you the options, and anybody who's played FM24, 23, etc. will look at this and go, that sounds that's the same thing. Right? So I'll try and ensure your importance to the team is recognized. I want to make sure my players are happy. I'll give you the playing time you want. I'm afraid you don't fit in my plans at the moment. There's a lot of football still to be played this season. Be patient. You'll get the playing time you want. I don't know if that's the exact 100% letter-to-letter same message that you get in FM24, but it's similar enough that I go, have they not done anything with interactions? Another curious thing, and I'm not really sure what to make of this. I think this calendar is showing us that it is January 4th, and we're playing Manchester United. And then it shows, like, okay, let's click on it or zoom in or whatever. And it shows the match stats, which I would expect to be on the screen during the actual match. In this video, we are managing Brighton. So it's only showing us this one thing. I don't know if this is replaying what happened in the game. Regardless, I'm really hoping we get more than those 3 match stats on anything. That shots, XG, and possession is not enough information, clearly. It clicks on the first team, and this is what you get. And that's the other thing that I'm slightly concerned about. Again, I can understand we are trying to develop a game here for multiple platforms. So you have to worry about squeezing too much into one screen. This looks like columns, and FM has never done columns and resizing of those columns effectively. I'm hoping you can click on this and add the other things that you're used to seeing however you customize your game. But the amount of screen real estate here that, again, I would slide this over. Actually, I think a lot of people will put the positions before the name. Interesting that there's the photos of all the players. Is that just a Premier League thing? Who knows? But I'm really hoping this functions better in Unity with like the resizing and the ability to add, delete, etc. those columns. We'll see. We've apparently changed the left foot, right foot from, just saying very strong or fairly strong with a color to giving us a bar to show exactly how reasonable or very strong that is. That's a very small tweak, but again, for a new player, it might go like, well, is reasonable good enough? Well, it's like, well, it's kind of in the middle. It's probably fine. So it provides clarity. The positions are different colored. I'm curious if there's still the dark green and the light green and the orange colors. So we'll have to see if that's super useful or not. I've just noticed this on Matoma. He gets paid 66 to 96 grand a week. Maybe that has to do with like the bonuses and, if he scores and assists or something like that. That's just kind of a random thing I noticed. I'm like, last time I checked, players are getting paid a flat amount. There has been a little chatter I've seen on social media about there's some little tweaks in contracts. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. It's like, that's going to take some getting used to, going like, he makes this much. I was like, well, he makes this much unless he scores, in which case he makes more. So it's giving you the full range and therefore like the full impact to your budget. Maybe? I'm getting out of the video and going back to the blog post here. I'm curious about this form section here because I like being able to see the form throughout the season. I think it tells a better story about, remember when he was struggling and came back from that injury and so on and so forth. By only showing that bar graph there with 5 bars and the last 5 average rating, is SI essentially telling us only the last 5 games matter? Does season form not matter? Obviously, I'm guessing you can click on that card or tile or whatever it's called and it's going to pop up. But I like seeing it on the screen, and I'm not seeing an option here that allows you to adjust the view, which might be a downer. And last but definitely not least, at the bottom of the blog post, they already have 2 new things they're going to show us at some point in the future, but you can't click on them. So obviously the one on the right is about the women's game, and the one on the left is something about new levels of immersion, but it doesn't tell us what that is. So again, my friends, thanks for watching. I will have an affiliate code in the description below, and I'll say whether or not I have a code. So if you go look right now, it'll say I currently don't have an extra 5% off. If I do, it'll say something different. And if you enjoyed content like this, make sure you like and subscribe because we're going to be going into FM26 really hard. And also you might check out this video, which is about 26 things I hope SI fixes in FM26.